people, it's Tracy.
And I'm Dan.
And you're watching Midlife Mamaw on YouTube. Thanks for joining us today. We are coming to you from the Lenore Museum in Norris, Tennessee. Dan, what do you think about this place?
It's an amazing place of American history, especially to this area. A great history of the dam and the time before the dam was actually built.
Yeah, that's right. This historical complex has got the threshing barn, the grist mill, which is like 18th century, right?
Right.
And then where we're standing, which is the Lenore Museum, there are historical documents here. There are artifacts from a time back before they even built the dam, and there's plenty of pictures, and we're going to take you on a tour today, okay?
Okay, the first thing that you need to know about the museum are about the people that collected it. Mr. and Mrs. Lenore lived down in Loudoun County, a place called Philadelphia, Tennessee, and they spent about 60 years of their life together collecting all kinds of things. And then in the 1930s, when the Norris Dam was constructed and TVA got its beginnings, they moved up here to Norris and raised their family up here. And the collection just grew and grew and grew, but they never had the money to actually, they always wanted a museum, but they never had the money to, build the building and light and cool it and heat it and that kind of thing. But when Mr. Lenore got up in years, he actually donated his collection to the state of Tennessee. And when the museum opened in 1975, he was the first curator here. And he stayed with his collection until 1987 when he passed away. He was almost 97 when he passed away. So.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
Tell them what these are.
Okay, well, here at the museum, we have all kinds of things. There's over 5,000 artifacts displayed. We've got an upstairs that you can't see. There's already stuff back by the front door that we've already gone by. But one of the big things are our room displays. I don't know if you can see, but there are 3 period-style rooms that we have on display with all kinds of like furniture and knickknacks and just antiques and things from the period there. And this is where we, with our group tours, this is where we spend a lot of time. There's all kinds of interesting things.
And they're set up so well, and they've got little descriptions that are on some of the items, most of the items, so that you can, if there's not someone here that's really, really handy, you're with the tour, or someone else is with the tour, then you can still get some information about these really cool artifacts.
And occasionally, I'm not averse to jumping the rail to get back there and show you some of these things a little more up front and personal. I've actually already done that once today, just a few minutes ago.
There
so
is one
it
thing
does
that I
happen.
would like to see.
Okay.
And we'll show you in just a few minutes. All right. And for those of you that enjoy the banjo, would you tell them about these 2 banjos you just told me about? That was awesome.
Well, the 2 that we have on the wall, these are, I think the one on the left is actually store-bought, okay, has the metal frets, but the one on the inside is fretless and it is homemade. But both of them, I know this, both of them actually have natural animal hides stretched across. I'm not sure if it's groundhog or something like that, but it's a natural hide. But banjos from back in the day, at least 100 years old.
There is so much to this museum. Y'all need to come and check this out. They're open almost every day, except for
Monday and Tuesday. We're open Wednesday through Sunday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m.
And you can find out more information below in our description, where we're going to drop a link so that you could come to see this for yourself, right? All right. Now there's that fiddle that's back there too. It's not really a fiddle, is it? It's a violin.
It is actually, and that I spend a lot of time with the school kids that come in here because that is a fiddle. Because technically it's a violin, but it's missing the one thing it needs to remain a violin, and that's the chin rest. If it doesn't have a chin rest, it's a fiddle because you play leaned against your body as opposed to like this with a symphony. So,
did you know that?
Didn't know. I didn't know that it
See, we learned something today. Now we gotta go home.
all the artifacts that we have here, this is probably the crown jewel of the collection. It's from 1826. We know that roughly because there were newspapers stuffed down into this thing when we got it. And literally, it was a box of parts. It wasn't working. We had some tinkerers that lived locally in the town of Norris that spent hundreds of man hours putting this thing back together, getting it to work. And those newspapers that I was talking about were from Germany. So we know that it comes from probably the Black Forest area of Germany, and it's, so it's almost 200 years old. Very fragile though, but it is working. It's all hand done. It plays about a dozen different songs. All these characters move. These people do different chores down here. The middle people, they dance around the ballroom. The soldiers march. There's some horse cavalry soldiers in the back that come through. And the little clown guy, he's actually broken, but normally he would flip through the air like this. Again, comes from Germany, but it came, by the time of the Civil War, it was over here in the United States and up at a place called Bull's Gap, Tennessee. But we really don't know the story beyond that. It's still a mystery. But I can tell you this, guys. When we got it in 1981, the Smithsonian, up in D.C. was interested in it, and they made us an offer on the box. I don't know the dollar amount, and I don't know if it was even working at that time, but I know the Smithsonian knows about it, and we're interested. So,
wow. Well, and also let's zoom her right on in there so people can say
the detail.
Yeah, I mean it's amazing.
It's all hand carved and painted, and if you go around the other side, you can see some of the mechanics of it. It works by a crank, and I won't, but the crank sticks out. You can kind of see it's laying on the ground there, but you just stick it in, you crank it like this, and it turns. It has a bellows inside. It is a true organ. You can see a lot of the gearings and things there. There's little switches and things. It's pretty, and there's your organ pipes up top. So like just the cranking motion operates everything, makes the songs play, makes the people move,
and
just does everything.
Oops. And there's also a DVD, which because of copyright we are not going to watch it, but that there's some more information that's there, and when you're here you could watch the DVD and it will give you more information about this piece itself, which is, to me, is just, I'm just so fascinated over it, and who wouldn't be? I mean, those are hand carved. That's just, it just blows my mind. But anyway, you can watch this when you're here at the museum. It's just the DVD. Now, about turning it on, how often is that going to happen now?
Well,
Very
normally,
seldom. I mean,
we have done about 3 or 4 times a year. We've cranked it. Like I said, it's very fragile. And for years, the park manager was the only one that would touch it and crank it. But he has since retired, and they have literally given me the keys. So I am in the process of learning how to do it. Learning how to do it well. So as soon as that's finished, then we'll start doing it more regularly.
well, make sure that you let me know when so that we can come up here because I want to see this puppy in action. It's just amazing that it's almost 200 years old.
Yep.
Oh my goodness. So what could you tell them about it?
Well, I can't answer their question whether it really works or not because I haven't cranked it, but I can tell them that over 100 years ago, this thing did work. And it is a Edison standard phonograph. It's written right there. This is an oak case. You can see it has a top, has a cover. And these are actually, the music is not in here, but this would be the little cylinder that would hold your record or your CD or your tape or whatever, whatever you were going to. This is like the older version of that. And you would slide it. Basically, it's a cylinder, and it would slide into this area right here. And then when you crank it, of course, it comes out the little trumpet-looking thing and plays music. But I can't tell you whether it works or not these days, but I know,
Once upon a time it did.
Yes, in about 1900 it did.
I bet they were shaking a leg.
Right, and let's don't forget about Edison. I mean, right here, even on the record, there's a picture of Thomas Edison and his name. So.
That is amazing.
Yep.
Dan, why is it that this kind of stuck out to you?
Well, I come from a military family, and it's Army. But I've always been a fan of the World War II, World War I movies. And this is probably one of the most popular from World War I, or that time period. And I've seen the movie multiple times, but I was just wondering if this was an actual banner that was used during the promotion of that movie.
Yes, and he is you're right on. That is an original promotional banner, like a lobby. They would have lobby cards, made out of cardboard. They would also hang these banners maybe outside of the theater, maybe in the lobby to promote it. I believe this is from one of Mr. Lenore's daughters. Might have gotten this and put it as part of the collection. But it is original, and like you said, it gives the story. First, we got Gary Cooper, one of the best-known Hollywood actors, telling a story of probably one of Tennessee's greatest heroes about the First World War. But this came out right at the beginning. I think it was before Pearl Harbor, but it was right kind of in the build-up for World War II. So it was a very patriotic thing, and I'm sure a lot of young men that saw this movie, they probably soon were at the induction center, for the Second World War. But it is original. It is original.
Is this the only one like this that you have in the museum?
It's the only one that we have, and I just venture to say there probably aren't many of these anywhere.
And especially in that good a condition.
And I will mention, we're part of the Tennessee State Park system, and there is an Alvin C. York State Park where his home in the middle. Yes, Paul Mall is that little town in, I believe it's Fentress County, but and it's run by the state park system. And at one time, his son or grandson, I think, was the ranger there. So there's that family connection between Sergeant York and today.
And there is also a Veterans Administration out there in that area with his name on it.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
This is a Midlife Mamaw production.